はい、ちょっと言ってあげてくださいます？切りますから。Leslie, do exactly what Mrs. Tauchi does. When you crawl in from that narrow entrance, you are reminded to be humble. Go ahead. And at the time when Senno Rikyu, who developed this tea ceremony into the level of art, it was the time of civil war. It was sort of a bold idea to leave everything outside so that no protection is allowed inside the tea room, so that everyone is equal inside the tea room. When the Lord and the retainer all sit in the same room as the equal basis, that is a wonderful idea, but he took a great chance of voicing that bold idea. When they take a look at the kettle, which is steaming, they are reminded of a cloud floating, because the tea ceremony is basically going back to nature. So it's a reminder of a part of nature. They have washed their hands, cleansed their mouth to purify themselves. It is not only to purify their physical self, but to remind themselves to inwardly cleansed too. That means to cast off all the thinking, good or bad, outside, so that their mind can be completely empty. It is a blank sheet of paper when they come into the room. And purification of 5 senses has to be done by smelling of incense, listening to the water, and looking at flowers, touching the utensils. Now, Mr. Imai, master potter, came in as teishu to serve sweet that is to be taken before the tea is to be served. He said he's busy today playing 2 roles.
今日はようこそおいでいただきました。
Thank you for coming.
長寿庵のお茶室が大変喜んでおります。
ありがとうございます。
ごゆっくりとして。
先生のご高齢の高齢者から本当に
いい教室で
生涯の感じでございます。
なりました。それでは2日でございますけど一服差し上げます。どうぞごゆっくり。皆様どうもありがとう。
What he says is the room, Shojuan, the name of the room is Shojuan, must be delighted to have beautiful ladies today. And although I'm clumsy tea master, I am going to prepare tea for you. when he looked into the hishaku, he is looking himself as if he is looking at the mirror, so that his mind doesn't have any spot whatsoever.
ね。
お疲れでいらっしゃいましょう。
いえいえ、
You must be very
好き
tired
なことは
playing two roles. He says, no, no, not at all. Whatever I enjoy doing, I don't get tired.
とってもまさか今がね身についてらして本当にここからもうだいぶ長くなかったです。
Mrs. Tauchi is the tea instructor at Foothill College,
あんまりやったりとか
and
正式なのがね
he says,
まあまあ平手前
she
とかね
says that it is most relaxing that the way you make tea,
名人芸という感
and
じで
it is really the master who makes the tea. And Mr. Imai says, I enjoy tea, and this is the way of finding rest in the
い
tea.
えいえということなんですね。それがどうでしょう。
He examined 3 times. That is the significance of 3 most cleansing agents: water, fire, and wind. That is, when it is controlled, it is the cleansing agents. But when it is out of control, it is quite destructive.
今日は高本さんようこそ。今日は大変お着物がお似合いでお綺麗でございますね。
Mrs. Takamoto, you look beautiful today in kimono.
どうぞ。
Excuse me, starting first.
はい、今日のためにね、京都の末富さんっていうお菓子屋さんがあるんですが、その末富さんのお菓子を持ってまいりました。
It is such a beautiful selection of tea cakes that you chose. And he says, yes, we very carefully selected at the famous tea sweet confectioner in Kyoto for this particular occasion. The bowl is rotated so that the pattern is facing the guest. The moving that tea bowl means, excuse me for having before you.
どうぞ。
Thank you for preparing tea for me. Now she rotates so that the beautiful pattern is away from her lips.
大丈夫だ。そうでござい
It
ます。
is a good bowl of tea you prepared.
カリフォルニアのね、
はい
秋のひとときを
い
皆さんお茶を飲んでいただいて、
はい、
ゆっくりとお過ごしいただきたいと思いまして、
生涯の思い出になります。
さようならしていただきください。
I wish that this particular moment will be remembered as one scene of autumn day in California. And Mrs. Tauchi responded, certainly it is going to be a long, unforgotten memory to come. It is important to bring seasonal feeling into the tea ceremony. So the selection of bowls and the flower arrangement, everything to remind you what season you are in. The flower that is chosen is the particular one which blooms at the time of harvest. So the name is Okagura. Daikagura です。大神楽。
岡村ちょっと先生、すみません、申し訳ございません。
いえいえ。
下にね、レンガが入ってるんです。それの。
それはもうやむを得ませんですね。はい。
Mr. Imai did not bring in the tea utensils, especially the kettle, and Mrs. Tauchi feels probably it is a little too big for this occasion. And he says, no, not at all. This is just fine. If you look at the tea in the bowl, it is very nicely done, very tiny foams. So that is the skilled tea master's work. That is Mrs. Imai now taking a bowl of tea and returning the used cup to the host. Thank you for
お話がありました。どうぞ。
感激してしまった。
そうでございますか。はい。
胸がいっぱいでございます。
まあ、私が
She's overwhelmed
焼き物を作るわけ
by
ですけれども、
the hospitality he extended. そのお茶というものは季節感がございましてね、季節感を亭主がその時折のですね、お道具で皆様をお迎えするということでございますので、それにつきましても使うお道具ですね、今の秋の季節でしたら秋にふさわしいお茶碗、あるいは男のもの、花はもちろんでございますが、そういう秋にふさわしい道具を使うわけでございますね。そういうことで、そういうお茶のそういう亭主の心をですね、私たちが汲み取って、それでしかもそのお道具をですね、考えて制作するということが大事なことだと思うんですよね。 As a person who is making tea utensils, I keep in mind how important it is to express the season, to express the moment that is to be treasured forever. It is important to know the principles of tea, the heart of the tea man. So in order to express the essence of the season, essence of nature, I keep abreast with tea ceremony. It is a process of study when I do the tea ceremony. It is also the moment of communication, of warm up the
もう
friends, renew the friendship, and it is the time to get the inspiration for making new utensils for the tea ceremony.
やっぱり大徳寺の、どちらの太刀でございます。随法院。随法院の慶道書。そうですか。
The scroll they are talking about is done by the priest at the Zuihoji temple, and the priest was when he did the calligraphy. I think she said 93 years old, so that's a very fine calligraphy. Now, the ceremony is finished. Everything has to be brought back as it has been brought in. The tea scoop has to be purified.
そうですね。そうです。あれは三井さんのね、当時の方がね、永楽天五郎さん。そうです。そうです。いやまあそういうわけでもございませんでしょうけども、今年のお正月にはね、ああいう非常に変わったね、初釜のね、大変厳しい風情がね、家元はね。
It is a coincidence to find a mutual friend through the tea ceremony. So they are talking about the tea ceremony that they attended by different occasions by the same tea master. Is it finished? Sorry.
拝見しましょうか。
ありがとうございます。会見の時間ございますでしょうか。
3分。
3分ですって。
本当にあり
がとうございました。
そうですか。そうです。それじゃあこれぐらいでお済ませでございます。
Thank you for being the guest.
今日は坂本さん非常にいいお茶を見ていただきましてありがとう。
素直な方ですね。
そうですね。はい。じゃあこれぐらいで。
Now the ceremony is finished. Thank you very much for the
今日はどうも
opportunity.
皆さんありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。